In a world full of pressure and endless striving, so many of us are searching for one thing: true happiness. But why does it often feel just out of reach? We chase after success, relationships, or comfort, thinking they'll bring lasting joy, only to find ourselves still feeling empty, stressed, or unsatisfied. Here's the truth: lasting happiness doesn't come from outside, it begins within. And Buddhist wisdom offers us timeless guidance to find peace, contentment, and joy, no matter our circumstances. If you've ever felt lost, overwhelmed, or simply craving more meaning and peace in your daily life, know that you are not alone. We all want to live with more lightness and less struggle. In this video, we'll explore 7 simple but powerful Buddhist teachings that can gently guide you toward a calmer, more joyful way of living. These teachings aren't just philosophy, they're practical tools you can begin using today. So, take a deep breath, open your heart, and stay with me until the end, because one of these teachings may be the light you've been needing. 1. Live in the present. Let go of yesterday. Release tomorrow. Happiness only lives in the now. Most people live trapped in 2 prisons: regret over the past and anxiety about the future. They carry old wounds, replaying what they should have done differently, or they live in fear, constantly worrying about what might go wrong. In this way, the mind becomes a storm, never still, never satisfied, and joy slips through our fingers like sand. Buddhism teaches that the present moment is the only reality we truly have. The past is gone. The future is not yet born, but this breath, this heartbeat, this very step, this is where life happens. When we root ourselves fully in the now, we begin to notice the small wonders we usually miss: the warmth of sunlight, the sound of the wind, the kindness in a smile. This awareness is the doorway to peace. There is an old Zen story of a man being chased by a tiger. He runs until he finds himself at the edge of a cliff. Grabbing a vine, he lowers himself down. Above him, the tiger snarls. Below, another waits. Suddenly, he notices a wild strawberry growing beside the vine. He plucks it, tastes it, and says, "Delicious." In that moment, surrounded by danger, he chose to be fully present, and he found beauty in your own life begin each day. By grounding yourself in the present, pause and take 3 mindful breaths before you speak, eat, or react. When your mind wanders, gently bring it back to now. Let go of the movie in your head and return to the reality in front of you. Remember, happiness is not hiding in your past or waiting in your future. It's already here in this moment, if you choose to notice it. 2. Practice compassion when you open your heart to others. You open the door to your own happiness. In today's world, many carry silent burdens, pain, loneliness, or anger, hidden behind smiles. And yet, we often move through life focused only on ourselves, our problems, our desires, our needs. This self-centered way of living slowly isolates us. It makes the heart heavy and the soul restless. The more we chase happiness only for ourselves, the more it slips away. Buddhist wisdom reminds us, compassion is not a weakness, it is strength in its highest form. When we genuinely care for others, even in small ways, we begin to dissolve the boundaries that separate us. Compassion softens the ego, opens the heart, and brings a deep joy that selfishness never can. To help someone to listen, to understand. This is how we reconnect with the essence of life. There is a Zen story of a monk who was meditating in the forest. One day, he found a starving tiger and her dying cub. Without hesitation, the monk offered his own meal to the tiger. The next day, he returned with more food. Day after day, he shared what little he had. In giving, he found peace. He later said, "When I fed her, I fed myself." Compassion, he discovered, nourished both the giver and the receiver. So in your daily life, practice compassion in small, quiet ways. Offer a kind word to someone who seems down. Listen without judgment. Forgive someone who hurt you, not because they deserve it, but because peace is more valuable than resentment. Compassion doesn't require grand gestures. It begins with a soft gaze, a patient heart, a willingness to care. And remember this, every act of kindness you give returns to you in peace. To walk the path of happiness, walk with others in your heart. 3. Embrace simplicity. True happiness begins when we stop chasing more and start appreciating less. Modern life tells us that more is better, more possessions, more status, more success. But the more we gather, the heavier we become. We clutter our homes, our minds, and our hearts until there's no room left for peace. We confuse comfort with contentment, and in chasing what's unnecessary, we often lose what's essential. Buddhist wisdom gently teaches us that simplicity is the soil where peace and joy grow. When we strip away the excess, we return to what is real. Simplicity is not poverty, it is freedom. It's the choice to live with clarity, not confusion. To value presence over possession. When we need less, we fear less, and in that stillness, happiness arises naturally. A Zen master once lived in a tiny hut with only a mat, a bowl, and a lamp. One night, a thief entered, only to find there was nothing to steal. The master smiled and said, "You came a long way. To visit me, don't leave empty-handed. Take the moonlight." The thief stood still, puzzled. The master had nothing, yet lacked nothing. In simplicity, he owned the deepest peace. So, in your life, begin to clear what clutters your mind and space. Let go of what no longer serves you, old things, old grudges, unnecessary desires. Practice gratitude for what you already have, and you'll begin to see how much you don't need. Simplicity isn't about having less, it's about needing less to feel whole. The quieter your life becomes, the more clearly you'll hear the whispers of joy. In embracing simplicity, you return to the heart, and the heart is where happiness has always been. 4. Detach from desire. Freedom from desire is the beginning of true peace. At the root of much suffering lies one common thread: desire. We want more money, more praise, more love, more control, and when we don't get what we want, we feel frustrated, empty, even angry. Desire keeps the mind chasing, always looking ahead, never satisfied with the present. And the more we feed it, the stronger it grows, like a fire that can never be filled. Buddhism teaches that desire is not the enemy. Attachment to it is wanting is natural, but clinging, grasping, needing something to feel whole. This is what creates suffering. The key is to see desire clearly and let it pass like a cloud in the sky. When we no longer define ourselves by what we want, we begin to uncover what we already are: whole, free, and at peace. There is a Zen parable of a man who found a beautiful jade stone. He treasured it, admired it, and carried it everywhere. One day, it slipped from his hand and shattered. In despair, he cried, "I've lost everything." But a nearby monk said gently, "You didn't lose the stone. You lost your attachment to it." That day, the man began to understand, peace comes not from what we hold, but from what we can release. In daily life, start observing your desires without judgment. Notice when your happiness depends on something outside of you, whether it's praise, control, or possessions. Then, ask yourself, if I didn't get this, could I still be at peace? This doesn't mean you stop working for good things. It means you stop believing they define your worth. Let go, not because you must, but because you're free to. In releasing desire, even gently, you make space for something deeper than pleasure. You make space for peace. 5. Cultivate gratitude. Gratitude turns what we have into enough, and enough is the beginning of joy. Many people walk through life feeling that something is missing. They look at what they don't have, compare their lives to others, and silently whisper, "If only." This mindset breeds dissatisfaction. It blinds us to the beauty in front of us and keeps us trapped in a cycle of wanting. Instead of living, Buddhism teaches us that gratitude is a form of deep awareness. It is the practice of seeing clearly, not just what we lack, but what we already have. A calm breath, a roof overhead, a kind word, a simple meal. These are not small things. They are miracles we overlook when our eyes are clouded by expectation. Gratitude brings us back to the truth. This moment, just as it is, can be enough. There's a Zen story of a student who complained constantly about his life. His master handed him a cup of tea and said nothing. The student sipped it and smiled. "This is good." The master replied, "In your search for answers, you missed the gift in your hand." That cup of tea, simple, warm, present, was the lesson. Joy is found not in what is next, but in what is now. To practice gratitude, Begin and end your day by naming 3 things you are thankful for. Feel the warmth in each one. Speak it aloud if you can. Throughout the day, pause and notice the small blessings, a breeze, a smile, the sound of rain. Gratitude does not depend on perfect circumstances. It depends on clear sight. When your heart is filled with thanks, there's little room left for longing. And in that space, peace gently enters. Gratitude is not just a feeling, it is a way of seeing. And the more you practice it, the more joy becomes your natural state. 6. Meditate daily. A calm mind is the foundation of a happy soul in the rush of life. Our minds become tangled in endless thoughts, worries, and distractions. We jump from one thing to another, rarely pausing to simply be biz. Mental noise drains our energy, clouds our judgment, and dims the light of joy. Without stillness, happiness feels fragile, a fleeting guest rather than a steady companion. Buddhism offers meditation as the art of returning home to yourself. Meditation is not about escaping life, but embracing it fully with clarity and calm. Through daily practice, the mind learns to settle like water left undisturbed, revealing the peaceful depths beneath. When the mind is still, happiness does not depend on outside events. It flows naturally from within. There is a Zen story of a student frustrated by restless thoughts during meditation. His master told him, "Don't chase the thoughts away. Imagine them as clouds passing in the sky. Watch them, but do not follow." With time, the student saw the clouds drift away, leaving a clear, calm sky. This is meditation, learning to watch your mind without being pulled by it. To bring meditation into your life, start small. Dedicate just 5 minutes each day to sit quietly and focus on your breath. When thoughts arise, gently return your attention to the breath without judgment. Over time, extend this practice and notice how moments of calm expand into your daily life. A peaceful mind is not an absence of challenges, but the presence of clarity and grace. By meditating daily, you nurture this peace, and happiness becomes not a distant goal, but a living reality within you. 7. Follow the middle way. Balance is the path to lasting happiness, neither excess nor lack, but harmony. Many people swing between extremes in their lives, chasing pleasure one moment, then punishing themselves the next. Some push too hard, burning out in their pursuit of success. Others avoid challenges altogether, falling into complacency. This imbalance creates suffering, confusion, and unrest. When life feels like a tug-of-war, peace remains out of reach. Buddhist wisdom teaches us to walk the middle way, the path of moderation, balance, and mindful choice. This means neither clinging to indulgence nor to harsh denial, but finding the harmony that nourishes body, mind, and spirit. The middle way invites us to meet life as it is, with calm acceptance and steady effort. Avoiding the traps of extremes, there's a Zen story of a man who wanted to learn how to live well. He first tried living in total luxury, but found no satisfaction. Then he lived in strict austerity, but felt weak and unhappy. Finally, he settled into a simple hut, eating enough, resting well, and working with care. He smiled and said, "This is the way, the middle way, where joy grows naturally without force." In your own life, seek balance in your habits, work, and rest. Notice when you're pushing too hard or giving too little. Embrace moderation in what you consume. Food, media, thoughts. Let your actions be steady, neither rushed nor stagnant. This balanced approach creates a fertile ground where happiness can take root and flourish. True peace is not found at the edges, but in the center, calm, steady, and whole. By following the middle way, you walk a path that sustains you through life's changes, leading to lasting happiness that no storm can shake. In the journey toward a happier life, these 7 Buddhist teachings offer a gentle yet powerful guide. Living fully in the present, practicing compassion, embracing simplicity, detaching from desire, cultivating gratitude, meditating daily, and following the middle way. Each invites us to step away from the noise and confusion of modern life and return to a place of peace within. True happiness is not found in chasing more or avoiding pain, but in understanding and nurturing the heart's natural capacity for joy and calm. As you begin to weave these teachings into your daily life, may you discover that happiness is not a distant goal, but a living presence always available, always within you. Embrace these lessons.